is Ron Rapaport. Is he there? Let's just see.
I
He's
am
on
there.
here. You're on.
All right. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody from sunny Florida. We had, like I said, we had a hurricane come through here yesterday, and I had to rearrange my schedule. So I'm actually found a nice quiet place outside at a Holiday Inn. So I'm coming to you from there. So it might be I don't know if you can hear background noise or not, but it's pretty quiet. I'm outside. Can you see me and hear me? Are we good?
Yes, we can. And Brett has your presentation up on the screen.
Oh, okay, great. So just to give you guys a little background information, I'm Ron Rapaport. I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida. I was diagnosed in 2019 with DCIS. They did a total mastectomy on me. They also did a oncotype DX on me, on my tumor. They found that it was a very low score, and they found that I did not need chemotherapy or radiation, which was great. And so I found out in 2019, getting male breast cancer, that it's kind of a lonely feeling when, there's no other men around to talk about it or whatever. And I searched out on the internet, male breast cancer, came across Peggy's organization. I gave her an email, and she called me back pretty promptly. And we started a relationship. She sent me a care package, and Sherry Matthews sent me the recovery shirt, and and it was great. And I went through the process, and a couple months later, we had the conference in Orlando, and it was great. I mean, I didn't know anybody. I drove down to Orlando with my wife, and we met all kinds of people in the organization. And it was just like a family reunion. I mean, it was great. And everybody, it's really hard for people to understand that don't have cancer, especially male breast cancer. You really need to talk to somebody who has it, because they're really the only people you can relate to on that type of basis. Yeah, you can talk to people, your caretakers and your family and friends. And of course, they're sympathetic to you, but they really don't know exactly how you're feeling or what you're going through as with somebody who's gone through it. And that could be alluded to any other kind of diseases or problems or whatever. So before I had my surgery, I had to have some dental work. I always tell this story, and I needed a crown put in. They had it set, and I went to call the dentist, and I said, "Hey, look, I got my cancer surgery on February 8th. Could you kind of speed up my crown to February 7th?" And they said, "We'll do our best," because they really didn't want me getting dental work right after my mastectomy. So I went into the dentist's office. They called me, and on the 7th, and the technician sat me down, and she said, "Hey, what kind of cancer surgery you having?" And I said, "Breast cancer." And at that time, that was the first time I ever said breast cancer. I mostly told people, I had cancer, but I didn't go into it. Anyway, she started laughing, and I went, "Oh my God, people are laughing at this." And so I said, a light bulb went off in my head, and I said to myself, when I get through this, and I don't know what stage I am or anything, but I will advocate for the male breast cancer happens.org organization. And I did. And so let's fast forward to 2022. I went 3 years without any problems. And this year in January, my oncologist noticed that I was having some inflammation on the side of my armpit. And I was looking for all this, but it was kind of just a swelling. It just must have come on fast. Anyway, she told me to go get a biopsy. I got a biopsy. Anyway, just like Dr. Park alluded to, it was local regional recurrence. So I did get it back. Now, this time I knew it wasn't going to be an easy path like the last time. And what they did is they took 9 lymph nodes, 2 of them were cancerous. They put me on 4 rounds of chemo, 33 radiation treatments. And unfortunately, I got collateral damage, and that collateral damage is lymphedema, which I got from the surgery from taking the lymph nodes. I have completed all that, and I'm on a bunch of regimens. They're giving me they're giving me like Lupron to lower my testosterone. They're giving me anastrozole instead of tamoxifen because I failed on tamoxifen as a recurrence. And I'm starting that new drug Verzenio, which is a terrible drug, as I just talked to Dr. Park about. But you know, they're doing their best to try to keep it at bay. So that's where I am right now. So a couple of years ago, I talked to Peggy and I said, Peggy, we've got to get together with the guys, and we have to start, you know, like a men's group, and, you know, where the guys can talk to each other and, you know, lament with each other, and, you know, for anything, just kind of, you know, shoot the shit, you know, get together and just meet other guys that have male breast cancer. So if we want to go to, Brett, if you want to go to slide 1 or slide 2, I guess the next slide. Okay, so we came up with the name Open Mic. And what it is it's a virtual group, and we meet monthly. We usually meet on the second Thursday of the month, but not necessarily. We have our own Zoom platform, so we can do it whenever we want. And all men with breast cancer, whether they're affiliated with the organization or not, are invited. And unlike our other meetings, we do not record these meetings because this is something that only men are invited to that have breast cancer, and obviously nobody would feel comfortable if we recorded it, so we don't do that. We don't promote any religious or political talk, so we keep all that out of it, so everything's completely friendly. Like I said, we use a Zoom platform, and we send out notices to everybody via our email and our secret Facebook group, but we also I contact many organizations in the cancer community, letting them know that we have this once a month meeting, and if they know anybody or anybody sees this with male breast cancer, they're more than happy. We're more than happy to have them. Telephone call-in is available. So if somebody just wants to call in and not be identified, that's fine. If they want to listen and don't want to say who they are, again, that's fine. We don't care. And then we discuss topics. Sorry, but it's windy here. And some of the topics that we've discussed over the couple of years is, does your doctor know enough about you? Male breast cancer collateral damage, side effects of medicine and their remedies. A lot of the guys bring up their side effect issues, and it's nice because other guys may have experienced those, and they can help them out. We share our personal stories, our struggles, and our triumphs. We discuss a lot about hormonal therapy effects, especially tamoxifen and Arimidex and letrozole. What the guys are feeling from that as far as side effects go. And we try to put each other at ease. There's some men that come on there that are new to the group. They're completely freaked out, like I was when I got diagnosed. You know, you're not used to hearing that you have breast cancer. So we put them at ease, and we've gotten positive feedback where they say, hey, I'm really happy that you're running these groups, and it's really helped me. Another big topic that we discussed is fear of recurrence. A lot of the men have a fear that it's going to come back, and so we talk about that a lot. We also talk about finding our resilience. And resilience is something that you really need when you're going through this. Now, the program is successful. in that it gives men others to converse with on a rare disease and gather knowledge from everybody's experience going through the journey. So if we want to go to the next slide, please. We have our brother to brother program. It's a group matchup. So what we've done with this is new members of the group are matched up with existing members with a similar cancer situation to talk and learn from. For example, Agent Orange exposure. We have men that have been exposed to Agent Orange, obviously from the Vietnam era. 9/11 exposure. We have men that have gotten breast cancer from being in the 9/11 toxic environment. The toxic water exposure in Camp Lejeune. We have men that have been through that. Same age group. The men can meet up with other men. We can match them up with other men. They can share their family experiences, what they're going through, and their marriages, that kind of thing. Finances would be another one. There's a lot of collateral damage with this disease for the men, and we talk about that. And lymphedema, in my case, I'm not the only one, where I actually got matched up with a couple guys that have lymphedema, and I've talked to them on a personal one-to-one basis, and they've given me a lot of tips and a lot of advice on how to live with this thing. So we feel it's a very good project that we started. If we can go to the next slide, please. Okay, our podcast group. So members of this group are derived from the open mic group and from the general membership. And we find people, men, who are willing to share their stories publicly on various podcasts, nationally and globally. So we seek podcasts. Like I told Peggy, I said, we started this project and we went on various cancer websites, which was great. But then I went to Peggy and I said, you know what, Peggy, it's fine that we're on cancer websites and we're reaching people, with cancer and caretakers, which is fine. But we really need to get our message out to podcasts that are unrelated to cancer. For example, sports podcasts, self-improvement podcasts, current event podcasts that will garner a male listenership as well as a female listenership. We want to get our message out to the women who relay it, and they can relay it to their partners. So we went on all kinds of podcasts. Just to give you an example, Beer and Dudes was one of them. And there were some other ones. I can't remember their names, but anyway, we've been heard all over the world. We have been heard in New Zealand, the Philippines, the United Kingdom, Canada, as well as the United States. And somebody came up to me a while back and said, "Why don't you start your own podcast?" So I decided, okay, I'll try it, and I started my own podcast called "It's a Wrap with Rap," and it's basically made up of a lot of people in the cancer community, but I really don't focus totally on cancer. It's mostly about people overcoming adversity, but I do, whenever I can, put in there a plug for the Male Breast Cancer Happens.org organization, and just male breast cancer in general. And I've had some of our people in our supporters on, like Carrie Madrid at the Caring Project out in Riverside, California. I had her on talking about male breast cancer, and I've done some other podcasts with people as far as male breast cancer is concerned. And I always whenever I'm interviewing somebody and we're talking about cancer, I always bring up male breast cancer. So it's in there. I also started a Facebook group and an Instagram group. And once again, I advocate for male breast cancer. We put all kinds of blurbs out there about it. So I'm doing what I can, going through this journey to get the word out, that male breast cancer does exist. And if we can go to the next slide, which would be summary, I believe. Got that one correct?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, I can't see it from here. So I feel these groups formed are very successful, that they give the men a voice and a sounding board for a rare disease that they never had before, and had to suffer, in silence, in some cases, being what I always call being a blue dot in a sea of pink. Now, the goal of these groups is to honor the pledge that Brett took a long time ago, that no man will ever be alone when hearing the words, you have breast cancer. And I think the group is growing. We're getting fairly good attendance. I think we could get better attendance. It's hard to get a lot of men to come out to talk about this, but we're making progress. And basically, the way I feel about it and the way the men feel about it in the groups that keep coming back is one person, and it's all worthwhile. So we're growing. I believe we're growing, and I think we'll continue to grow. And as long as the word keeps getting out, I think we'll get more and more men involved, and we'll be able to help more and more men. So I'll be glad to entertain any questions if anybody has any.
Yes, Ron, how you doing? This is Gary from Georgia. I've had a chance to attend a couple of your meetings, which were fantastic. And my question to you was that I may have missed. You had mentioned in your presentation that you try to do a matchup with individuals who have a similar medical issues. So I'd like to learn more about that to get matched up with someone, if I could.
Absolutely. If you could, I'll put my email address in the chat box, or if
Okay.
Peggy, if you want to put it in there, it might be a little easier for Peggy to do it because I'm on a cell phone.
Go ahead.
All you have to do is contact me. Give me your phone number, give me your email address. If you don't want to give me your phone number, it doesn't matter. And that way we can communicate it, and I can find out exactly, what your situation is. And then we'll match you up with somebody similar, that's going through the same type of journey, because everybody's going through a different journey.
Absolutely.
Some people have lobular breast cancer, and some people have, HER negative or whatever. And so we'll try to do that for you. Absolutely. And
thank you.
I guess I'll talk to Peggy as far as probably need to improve on that a little bit, and get that word out about the matching. We'll do a little more advertising on that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Agreed with that. Other questions, Beth?
I just want to say thanks so much. That was so fascinating. You're doing incredible work. It sounds really amazing. I just wondered, just in light of what I was talking about earlier with carers, I just wondered if you had any plans to set up a similar kind of support group for carers of men with breast cancer.
Okay. Could you repeat that last part?
Sorry. I wondered if you had any plans to set up a similar group for the carers of men with breast cancer.
Or
Yeah,
caregivers.
possibly.
Yeah.
For caregivers. I think that's a very good idea, and that's a good possibility. And I'm glad you brought that up, because
and we have a private caregivers group on Facebook that we have the partners and everything of the survivors. So yes, we've already been working with that, but he doesn't have a monthly call. But we've suggested that. We had that a while back. We did one or two. We got a few to show up, but that was about it. But it is something I'd love to pursue. And even Beth, if you want to get involved with us on it, maybe we can pull more on a global basis.
I would love to. Yes,
let's do that.
I would be happy to help with that as well.
Yes,
Peggy.
Jessica,
Yeah.
right there.
Absolutely.
Great idea. Look what's coming out of
Perhaps we
this.
could organize a Zoom, maybe.
Yes, absolutely. We'll do a Zoom for caregivers, Jessica, and we'll get on and figure out how we can get this going. Get Ron.
that is a great idea. And I will backtrack, and I will tell you guys that we tried to get the guys globally. And we did one meeting and it was pretty successful. I think we got, we almost over 20 guys from all over the world.
Right.
Then it just kind of petered out. And the reason it petered out, I think, is basically because of the time zone
Difference. Right. Exactly.
We just couldn't get anybody in the Pacific Basin like Australia, New Zealand. We tried Japan. We tried Africa. Again, we tried. It was basically Europe, and then the attendance went down. And it's what unfortunately, we're dealing with people who really, a lot of them just don't like to come out of the woodwork and talk about it. And, that's what we're fighting. I mean, I wish I had 100 people. I wish I had 200 people. I wish I had maybe did this 4 times a month. That would be great, but it's just not the case. And, but the caretaker thing is a good idea.
Yes.
And obviously it would include females, obviously. And, it may be, better than what we think.
Yeah, we'll try it again because it went pretty well the first couple of times, and then we lost a few, but it's all right. And we've got a question here from Bill Harris. Go for it.
Yeah, hi, Bill.
Hey, how you doing, Ron? Glad you're
Good.
safe and sound.
Thank you.
And hope your home is also intact.
Yeah, the home was good. The home was good, so we're good.
All right, good. I'm a member of another group called Man Up to Cancer, and we have a call regularly called the Howling Place, and we've also gone international and had the same kind of an issue in terms of timing and finding a time that works for a large number of people. And really the best we've been able to accomplish was one brave soul from Australia, a whole bunch from Canada, across the entire continent, and the UK and Belgium. And so it leaves out about half the world.
Yeah.
When you do this. And I think maybe an approach would be regularly to set up regional calls or Zooms, and then infrequently do more of a global one. And as you build up the energy in the regional groups, you then have a basis for bringing them together for a single larger event.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that, but yeah, I think that would be one avenue to pursue, and we could try it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll always try it. We'll never say no.
Yeah. I mean, it's just my hope that we can bring everybody together and talk about male breast cancer, and we know there's guys out there that are suffering alone. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. So that's my new purpose in life. Finding those guys.
Yes, I do.
Restroom break.
I'm not going to take a restroom break. I'm going to
What you got, Chair?
I'm going to tell Ron he's amazing. He's incredible. I listen to your podcast. You make everybody feel heard and loved and respected, Ron, and I'm so proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that. I started it out kind of like, I don't know where this is going, and it mushroomed, and I think we have somewhere around, well, I know there's several thousand in that Instagram and Facebook group, and people listening to the podcast. I know it's being heard in all the states and all the provinces in Canada.
Incredible.
I think 45 countries around the world.
It's
so
incredible.
We're really happy. I'm happy to do it, and as long as I can stay healthy and keep this male breast cancer away from me, I'll continue to do it.
Yeah,
So
well, I just
appreciate
wanted to give you hats off for turning a
there
bad
she
thing
is.
into a good thing for others. So
Thank you very much.
I'm a fan of you, sir.
Thank you.
As we all are.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.